Hi and welcome to another video. If you haven't already done so, do hit the subscribe button. It'd help me out a lot and you can keep up with all my future projects and points of curiosity, peculiar finds, etc. Anyway, in today's video, it's kind of a last minute thing. Basically, a friend of mine keeps bees, and he has a swarm sat in a nuke box waiting for a place to go. Now, we've got this 2 acres of land here, and I don't have any beehives. We have lots of flowers. We've got stacks of flowers everywhere. But yeah, anyway, I sort of had a bit of a research into it, and I decided I'm going to have a go at making a log beehive. So here we are. I've selected the log. It's not ideal. It's a piece of horse chestnut or conker tree. Ideally, you know, something like beech or oak. But hey ho, it's all I've got. It's the right size. It's about the right size, I should say. Ideally, I'd like it another foot longer, but I mean, I'm limited with the equipment I've got. I've got a short bar on the chainsaw, so fortunately, I've worked out that the chainsaw will actually fit into the hole once I've managed to scoop a bit out, so I can get the saw right down into it, because there's about 4 or 5 inches in the middle that the bar won't reach from the end, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, as you can see, I've got this far with it, and yeah, I'm just going to plod along and see how it goes. The idea is to hollow out this trunk and make a lid, make a base, put some sticks in there so that they can build their combs and it helps support it. But yeah, it's kind of exciting. I mean, bees aren't really my thing, and I've got to admit I probably won't have much to do with it. They'll just live a natural life. But it has occurred to me that I do have the rest of this piece of wood just over there. So in the future I can always create another piece. I think they call it a super, that could effectively go on the top of that. But I mean, that's all stuff to think of in the future. I mean, like I say, I'm not into bees, they're not my thing, so this is all a learning curve to me. And yeah, I didn't want to shell out 250 quid for a cheap pine beehive. So anyway, yeah, I'll crack on with it, and I'll sort of take clips as I go. So, as you can see, the size of the chainsaw is not ideal, but I'm going to keep plugging away at it, just keep taking chunks out like that, and then once I can't get the angles with the bar, I will just keep tickling it out with the tip. I've got a carving bar as well, it's exactly the same length, it's got about 11-12 inches of cut on it, so yeah. And then once I get down into the centre, I've got an iron bar with a flat sharp on it. And I figured I'd just smash it out with that, and then like I say, if I can't get the chainsaw in that area there, which I'm sure it should do, but either way, like I say, I'll just keep going, and yeah, I'll get back to you in a bit. Okay, so I've been boring away with the chainsaws, probably about half an hour, 40 minutes now, and this is what we're left with. Big pile of shavings, but more to the point, it's got quite tedious in there, as you can see. But nevertheless, I've managed to get that far with literally just those two tiny short bars. I mean, the carver has got an extra inch on the 12-inch one, but either way, that's plenty. I mean, I can almost push that out by hand. So I'll just knock those. I'll knock all this mess out now with the post, and we'll see how far I can get with a. I've got a pole with a sharp end on it. I may have to file it up a bit more to get a bit more sharpness on it, but again, not the ideal tool for it, but we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, it's looking good so far, so yeah, get back to you in a bit. So that's the middle knocked out. I just put a log in there. I stood it upright, put a log in there, and smashed it a few times with a sledgehammer, and it knocked out the middle. So now I'm just going to go around the edge with the carving saw, tidy that up. I figured I'm not even going to bother trying to scoop it out with a sharp pole, because I can get these tiny saws fit lovely in there now. So I'll just scoop away here. This outer line here was what I was originally thinking I'll aim for. The inner line I've set here is just something so that I don't overgo the mark into this wood. As you can see, you know, I've slipped out there, but I'm still just kissing that line, so there's still plenty of room to work with, and I've still got lots to take out around here. But yeah, it's getting there, man. It's getting there. So anyway, do a bit more, eh? So I've managed to get this far with it. I've done a fairly good job. I'm pretty pleased with the way it's turned out so far anyway. I mean, it's large enough to get the saw in there. I actually didn't have to resort to using a bar with a sharp end on it or anything, which, to be quite honest with you, just shows what those little Stihl 170s with the 12-inch bar are actually capable of. But yeah, no, a bit of persistence, we've sort of got there now. I'm just going to keep tickling away at it and work my way up to this outer line, and then that will give us at least 12 inches across there. I think it works out at 12 and a half roughly, obviously give or take, due to the natural nature of the material and the way we're doing it. But yeah, so once I've cut up to this edge, I'm then going to have to work out how to do a top and a bottom for it. I believe there needs to be some kind of anchorage arrangement there, or some kind of reinforcing arrangement in the form of sticks or some sort of bars going across here, so that the hive that they build has actually got something to support it, because it will be quite heavy once it's full of honey. But like I say, I'm no expert, and bees are not my thing, and this is a complete learning curve for me. Like I say, I don't know if the wood's suitable. I don't know. I'm just kind of doing what I think is the best I can do with what I've got available. Anyway, I shall come back to you guys in a bit when I have worked out what I'm going to do next. Okay, cool. Well, I managed to run out of time the other day. I had a few other commitments to take care of in the afternoon, but here we are, I'm back. It's another day. I've got out this morning and managed to get on with a bit more of the beehive. So I've managed to cobble together this roof. As you can see, it's quite crude. It's just 3 planks, and I've put this piece of laminate board on top there just to help try and keep the water out, if anything. Round the base of it, I've just gone under here, round there, with some pine batten, and I've just cut grooves in so it fits snugly on top of the log and kind of bites in as you push it down. So I mean, it's on there, you know, with a bit of force it'll come off, just lift off, you know. As for the base, I've just used some pine wood. It's just pine plank. I've just screwed it on with 4 large screws, so it's going to be quite easy to take off if I need to. I'm really hoping I don't have to have much to do with it, to be honest with you. I just kind of want these things to get on with their own thing. It'll benefit us in the sense that our trees and our environment will get pollinated better. But yeah, as for the door, I've used a 3/8 of an inch chainsaw bar and just poked it through there. I read online and it seems that 4 inches is recommended for the summer and 2 inches for the winter. So I marked out 4 inches. It's just under, but roughly I think that'll do. I don't think there's an exacting science to it from what I understand, but like I said, I'm no beekeeping expert. But yeah, as for the lid, just lifts off, and you can see I've just put some batten around there and cut off some grooves off each side so that it bites on there nicely. Now on the inside, I mean, it's quite nice actually. I like that rustic look. But yeah, what I've done here is, the friend of mine whose bees they are, and I'm getting these bees off, suggested that it would be simpler to just be able to put the frames from his nuke box straight in, so it wouldn't disrupt the bees as much, and it would also give them a reason to stay. So that's the idea behind cutting these grooves out. I mean, I've measured, again, rustic and rough, but I don't think there's an exacting science to it. And just as a bit of extra security for their comb or whatever they build down there, I've just stuck some bits of stripped off hazel rod in there. So yeah, I mean, hopefully this is going to do the trick. It looks good. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I'd love to know people's thoughts. I'm curious, hence why I've gone to this effort. But yeah, I'm now going to take the thing up there and sight it. So once I've got it set up and put in place, I'll show you guys what I've done with it. Right, so I've got it sighted. I've picked a spot right down the other end of our plot. I mean, there's very little disturbance down here. I don't often cut down here and things. And this area I've been clearing, as you can see, the snowberry in the background there. So yeah, there's lots of flower around this area, which is perfect. And you can see I've raised it up a foot. I've just knocked some posts into the ground, ash posts, and cut them off. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. It's turned out quite nicely. Yeah, that's where it's going to stay for the duration. And as you can see, it's got a lovely view, a nice big meadow with some cattle and stuff. And we've got all these trees here. We've got conker trees, alder trees, we've got some ash, we've got lots of ash actually, and then we've got the meadow full of wildflowers. We've got our own hazel that we've been planting, so there's a hell of a lot for them to get stuck into at all different times of year. So yeah, that's my beehive project. I might do a video at some point after the bees have been delivered. I don't think I'll be able to shoot much at because they're being delivered at night, or certainly as the light's going. Apparently that's when they're at their calmest, and they're all back in the box as well, you see. So yeah, anyway, at some point I will chuck something up showing you guys how, whether or if the bees stayed and got on with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little project, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Keep in touch with future projects and any other peculiar finds or points of interest. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.